Hello YouTube, welcome to the channel, Anna Bella, and today I'm using my selfie stick because I can and not my tripod, so apologise if it shakes about a bit. But I'm finally getting around to do the Han Solo film review. In fact, the fact that it's taken me this long to do it just shows my enthusiasm for the actual project. Okay, here we go. Oh boy, this is going to be interesting. It got a 12A rating, fully understand why, but the story and the rating were completely wrong. Completely wrong. It felt like I was watching Firefly merged with Blake Seven and I didn't get the dessert. Lando Calrissian was the best thing about this whole film. It was gritty, it was real, but then they pulled back, and I appreciate why they pulled back because I think that they got a lot of parental complaints due to Rogue One, understandably. But Rogue One was brilliant. Rogue One was the film that Star Wars needed. Han Solo is the film that it really didn't need. Solo, why did we need to know how Han Solo got his blaster? Why did we need to know all this little bits of information? The only good thing about it was we got to see Lando Calrissian and we got a little bit more backstory on Chewbacca and his life. And he is actually doing so well in the prequels as Chewbacca. He's actually getting so much character development. It is unknown. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, the Solo film finally basically sums up that yes, Han Solo did shoot Greedo first. But did we need a film to tell us that? No, we didn't. Okay. So I've got a list. Here's the list of points. So we've got questionable rating. It really should have been a 15. It felt like Firefly and Blake Seven merged together. Believability, I don't think it had that. How Han got his blaster is basically it. So it's basically Han Solo was a smuggler, but yet he was a good man all along. I kind of didn't get that. Okay. The crime in the Star Wars universe needed to be looked at and needed to be looked at in depth, but it wasn't explained and we didn't really get to see any of it. It would have been nice to have actually seen Han Solo and Kyra, apologies if I'm pronouncing her name wrong, as 10-year-olds, as children, and have that a little bit explained. And appreciate the reasons why we went with the whole droid thing. Loved that Lando Calrissian's droid. Really, really loved her. She was awesome. But it just didn't do the job properly. And I appreciate why Kyra had to be this mysterious figure and everything. And up until the point where they got separated by fate, it was going quite well. After that, it kind of went because it wouldn't tell us what Kyra had done. So we were left with this female enigma. And I appreciate that women can be an enigma. But we also had like issues around slut shaming because there was clearly some kind of kinky sex slave thing going on. But how did she rise to be a lieutenant? And it was all very confused. So was she a victim, a villain, a killer, a child, a slave, a woman, a prostitute, a lieutenant, a warrior, a survivor, hope? Who knows what she was because it was never confirmed or denied. You never knew what she was. She could have been any of those all at the same time. And for Star Wars, that's just really confusing. And I appreciate the reasons why they didn't go into it. I appreciate why she had to let Han go and sort of kiss that goodbye and go and work with Darth Maul. Spoiler warning, you know, come on. But why? And what happened to her? See, there's just too many questions now. We've got questions within questions. Not a great place for a story. Han Solo came off as sort of like really bland. It was like watching Harry Potter. Bland. And that's not who we met in Star Wars A New Hope. We met a really, really cocky, you know, smuggler. But here we met Mr. Bland, who has always been a good guy underneath and wanted to save the Empire. Well, maybe the Empire, who knows? I'm not even sure he knows. It was just a load of blandness, really. Bland, blandness. Like mashed potato without butter in it or something. Yeah, it was very bland. And I actually got bored. Unless there was the train robbery, but I've seen it better done on Firefly. Oh, dear. Interesting, though. Interesting that it made the Empire soldiers look like World War I soldiers. That was interesting. But that reminded me of Firefly a bit. it felt like a hodgepodge of a movie that had been sort of like coupled together. And the fact that we got to see the Millennium Falcon do the Kessler Run, I just rolled my eyes. You know, some things should be left in myth. We don't have to see everything that happens. Of course, we got to see that. Oh, so annoying. People have no imaginations. Why do we have to see everything? Can't there be some mystery in life? She says this after wanting to have Kyra to have a more defined character. Yeah, see, if it was a 15, they would have been able to sort of do more and actually hint a little bit more. As is, Kyra was this vagueness of vague. After starting out as a really strong character and you really rooted for her and you wanted them to be together, but you knew it wasn't going to happen because of Princess Leia. So it really is kind of like, meh, you know. And in the end, did Kyra save Han? Probably. From himself? From her? From Darth Maul? Who knows? And also, did Han save Kyra? No, because he couldn't. And she refused to tell him what she'd done because he'd look at her differently. Well, that sucks. The reason she said that was it's a 12A film. We actually can't talk about sexual slavery or child trafficking or any of these important issues in a Star Wars film. If you can't talk about them, then why the hell put them in the film in the first place? Just confusion and general vagueness. Oh, here are some characters. We will give them vague backstories and hope that it works. Next week, my review of the Infinite Star Wars stuff. Overall, Solo was an okay film. Out of 5, I'd give it a 3. But to be absolutely honest, you didn't need to see it. It just was confusing. In short, confusion. But isn't that Star Wars in a nutshell these days? Confusion. Rogue One was really good. I enjoyed that. Han Solo film. Meh. Very, very bland. They took a really good character and made him bland. Lando Calrissian was really good. He can stay. And Chewie got more character development. So, woohoo. Woo! For the Wookiee. So, yeah. Sorry it's taken me like ages to get around to saying this, but it was just kind of like a movie that we really didn't need in the Star Wars universe. Oh, look, I can move my thing around. So yeah, please like, comment and subscribe. And I'm sorry it's taken me so long. And that's basically my review of Solo. I mean, if you like Star Wars, go and see it. But you don't need to see it. It really doesn't add anything to the universe. It just creates more confusion. Oh, and Warwick Davis was in it. But then again, he always is in Star Wars. There's like a little cameo these days. Yeah. I like Kyra's boss. Would have liked to have actually seen more interaction and stuff. And I appreciate why we didn't, with it being 12A and everything. But it just felt like, oh, we've got some characters. What do we do? What do we do? Oh, we'll kill some, then we don't have to worry. Great. I'd rather watch Rogue One again, to be absolutely honest. So please like, comment and subscribe. And I hope you enjoyed this review of the Star Wars prequel, Solo. Next week I will be reviewing Yoda, the baby years.